And lastly, the median is the number in the middle of the data when it's arranged in ascending order. Again, I don't want to write all of my scores out to find it, but because we had them written on the last slide, let's just quickly check what our median should be by finding the number that does sit in the middle of the scores. So looking at the numbers written in ascending order, we can see that the median should occur between 2 and 3, and the average of those gives us a median of 2.5. But how do we find it in the table? Now we know we had 20 scores in total, and finding half of 20 is pretty easy. We get 10. We know this isn't the middle score as our answer should be 2.5, but what does this 10 tell us? Well, by halving the total number of scores that I have, I'm splitting my data into two groups. The first 10 scores occurring here, and the second 10 scores occurring here. So that 10 gives me my halfway point. Now because I had an even number of scores, everything splits into two groups perfectly, and there are no scores left over in the middle. So where would the middle number be? Well, it would be in the middle of these two groups. So between the 10th score and the 11th score. If we can find the 10th and 11th scores in the table, then we can easily find the number that should sit halfway between them. You can see that I've added a new column to my table called CF, and this stands for cumulative frequency. The word cumulative means to continually add. So this column will show us how many scores we've collected at each row in our table. Now here are the first two scores that we collected. They were both zeros. So currently we have 2 scores. Then we collected all the ones together and added another 4 frequencies onto that. In total, we now have 6 scores. By row 3, we've added another 4 scores into that, which were all 2s, and so our total for the cumulative frequency is now 10. So here is our 10th score. Obviously, the 11th score then has to occur in the next row. So looking at that, what's the median number then? Well, if the 10th score was 2 and the 11th score was 3 and the median is halfway between these two, then you can very clearly see the median should be 2.5. What do you think would happen if you had an odd number of scores? Let's say the total frequency was 21. How do you think you'd find the median then? Maybe that's something for you to think about.